So Reverse Resources is a company from Estonia, a digital society in Europe, known as like a hub of digital Europe. We started 6 years ago, but the concept, we changed it 2 years ago. So what I'm telling you today is kind of like a 2-year-old concept that we've worked on. But over the years, we have built a quite impressive network of collaboration parties. Our mission, we're a mission-driven company. Our mission is to help large global fashion brands in that switch over to circular economy and make sure that the fashion industry can start reducing the use of virgin materials and using its own waste to increase the recycled materials used. And there is a lot of activity already in that space. Only some examples on this slide that are active in that space. We estimate that the industry in general expects a huge boom in the recycling industry happening. These are only a few of the examples that we are highlighting because they are this part of that in the recycling industry that we are really focusing on. Those recyclers who take textile waste and turn this into high quality yarns and fabrics again, so the fashion industry can start using it again for itself. There are a lot of technologies entering the market right now and who are just about to start increasing their industrial volumes. So this jump in this graph is actually based on the interviews that we've done, and we know what their plans are ahead. So it's a really interesting time. When we look at the industry in general, over the years, the use of materials has gone up. Now with Corona, it is decrease, which isn't yet seen in the statistics, but out of all the materials, only 1% is said to be coming from textile to textile recycling. There is already a big movement there, but we expect this to even grow. And our estimate is that by 2030, 40% of virgin materials can possibly be replaced with recycled materials. Creating a huge opportunity in the market. And with our business case, it would mean 9 billion total addressable market across textile industry in general. The problem that we are solving is really the problem around an inefficiency of supply chain of waste becoming a resource back again for the industry. What happens, and we are focusing right now on the industrial waste mainly. What happens is that factories mix up their waste, they push it out the door, give it to collectors, and they don't know what actually happens to that waste. Meaning that the quality of the waste drops instantly, and there is no background information going along with it, where it came from, what does it contain. It then is going usually through 4 or 5 different middlemen who manually sort out better part, sell it forward, materials get merged, and sold forward again until it reaches the recyclers. And recyclers have, at the moment, no idea where it came from. They are forced to buy it from open market. They spend more than 30% extra just for sourcing the good quality waste that they need. And we have mapped out 15,000 tons of monthly capacity from recyclers across Europe and Asia mainly, who are in demand for better sources of waste and better quality. So what we do with our platform, we create a transparent supply chain, and we make sure that there is always only one middleman in between. By doing that, we are creating, offering fair market prices for the factories in return of them segregating their waste at source. We are increasing the quality and speed of the waste reaching the recyclers. We give control to the recyclers across their feedstock. We create transparency for the market, and we also create cost savings because we release a lot of money from that middleman stage. So we are kind of like, I don't know what to compare us with, Airbnb, Uber, or like whatever it is, but We are in the center of 4 different stakeholders. We connect supply and demand. We then bring in the middleman to deliver the waste, and we give statistics to the brands and public sector, for example, of the waste flows moving around. If we go more into the detail, then basically we around these 4 stakeholders, like we're in the middle, but it's easier to explain it being around it. We set up a 4-stage solution. First is collecting general waste profiles. Who has what needs what. Then we go into matchmaking. Who can we match up in this particular order? Which factories, usually 5 factories feeding into 1 recycler of similar waste. Only then we go to find a waste handler who could deliver that. We then give a digital support for them to carry out that transaction end to end, and then we collect data and provide market insight to all the stakeholders.
In 2015, we launched the Global Change Award. It's an innovation challenge, which has become the biggest one in the world for early stage startups, and by far the biggest one in the fashion industry. We're looking for, again, these really early stage ideas that don't have revenue and perhaps not even proven with an MVP or anything like that. And we want solutions across the entire value chain of the industry that can push and transform fashion to become circular and to operate within the planetary boundaries. In other words, we want to future-proof the industry, but we also realize that these solutions need to have a commercial reality in mind. We can't just dream away as a nonprofit. We need to adapt and pick and support our winners to really fit the needs of the industry. And every year we name 6 winners. So we have over 5 cycles. We have a portfolio of 30 ventures. We support them. We give them a grant. We don't take equity. We have no ownership in any of these. That includes reverse resources. Instead, we give a generous financial grant, and we give access to our extensive network globally. And we also go and travel places to see and meet the industry in flesh and blood. And over the years, we received over 21,000 innovations from 206 countries and territories. And I really want to underline that we have seen a lot of innovation, and we do see a lot of stuff every year, and few make the cut to be the winners. So it's quite big. And we work with Accenture and KTH Royal Institute of Technology as our partners in this. KTH is the largest engineering technological university in Sweden. And where does Ann come in? Well, she won the Global Change Award in 2016. And this is a picture from the award ceremony in the Stockholm City Hall, where they also do the Nobel Prize dinner and award event every year. And there's Ann with the Crown Princess of Sweden back in 2016. So I've known Ann for, time flies, it's 5 years now. And let me tell you that she is one of the most determined and hardworking founders that we have ever met. And a female founder, she faces a lot of struggles, and she works with perseverance like no other. And she's also been very smart, as she mentioned, to be agile throughout these years, and pivoted both her team and her business to meet the reality of the problem that she's trying to solve, and also the reality of the industry. And I know for a fact that she spent more time with supply chain and with her potential customers than most other founders that we have in our network. But in addition to GCA, what plays into reverse resources from my perspective? Yes, I'd say we do have a global macro trend of a lot of big bets on solving climate change. This is just the US, China, and Europe just pouring money into this field. This will trickle down to the fashion industry, and this will trickle down to supply chain, to brands, and to startups. It's not just waste being left on the table. That waste is money. Ellen MacArthur Foundation and BCG made a report a couple of years back estimating that more than $500 billion in value is lost due to the underutilized clothes and the lack of recycling in this industry. So we're talking real money here. And lastly, I want to highlight this report from last year by McKinsey, that addressing also, again, I'm circled the two main topics here that relates to reverse resources, that reduction in waste in supply chain and in garment manufacturing does have a big dent, not only on climate, but it's also, interestingly, from this slide, on the left-hand side, pointing downwards, meaning it's actually cost savings. And I think that's something to take away here when you're looking at reverse resources. Yes, that was it from my end. Thank you, and passing on the word.